you know what's going on in their head right now.
Oh, absolutely. Every one of them is thinking, there is no way carrying this pipe up the hill has any application to real world. This is just something to be toughed out. It's just something to push me and make me wear myself out, coming up this hill, steep hill, carrying a bucket, carrying a slosh pipe. There's just no way that it applies to the real world. But in fact, it does. That's why I've informally named this the donkey walk, because in 1985, I was in Pakistan with a team of Special Forces soldiers, and the requirement there was to take a whole bunch of Stinger missiles that the U.S. government was going to send to the mujahideen and allow them to fight the Soviets, shoot their aircraft down, and then conduct operations. To do that, we had to go from Pakistan over the Hindu Kush, about 11,000 feet, and down the other side a ways, and then meet with the mujahideen and give them the missiles. Now, the missiles are about 5 feet long and about 3 inches around. And then there's actual targeting sets and kits that go with that missile. You carry them separately. So ergo, the bucket and the slosh pipe, two different pieces of equipment that have to go over the mountains. And to do that,
I want you to go ahead, stage.
we looked at them, and there's like 12 of us. And it's like, damn, we got to carry like 60 missiles over the mountain? No way. Well, one of the guys, a fellow named Mike, was from New Mexico, and he said, hey, got an idea. Right next door is a whole bunch of donkeys in a corral. Let's use the donkeys to carry the missiles. So we cut a deal with the owner of the donkeys to carry the missiles, but the donkeys needed a little extra protein to kick in, so we ended up carrying donkey food so that the donkeys would have something to eat other than the tufts of grass going over the mountain. But that was a requirement, and we did that, and it allowed the mujahideen to fight the Soviets and push them out of Afghanistan. So there's a real world application.
And so in this case, the people are the donkeys. They're participants.
Absolutely.
They're their own donkeys. You gotta
They're the donkeys.
and they get to carry their own food a little bit.
Absolutely.
Right?
And the cadre are the SF team using the donkeys to get the missiles over the hill.
Okay, so part of the thing though is that was not the first time you'd ever had to move heavy, awkward weight, long distances.
Correct.
I mean, you go through Special Forces assessment and selection.
And you're carrying all kinds of odd-shaped equipment, odd pieces of equipment that simulate something. You have no idea what, and you think again, okay, these guys are just fucking with me. They're just making me go through this to test me physically and mentally to see if I can meet that challenge. And in fact, there really is, later on in life, an application for that training and that preparation so that when you get to it, it's not the first time you've ever seen it.
So, move heavy, awkward weight like your ancestors did. It's primal within the Special Forces training pipeline. You learn how to do this stuff. It sucks. That's the point. And if you do something that sucks, you train to do something that sucks, you can't simulate that exact mission that you went on in training because it's training. But when you face other hard things, it's not the first time that you've ever said, shit, man, this is a slosh pipe, or this is an awkward, it's not
this is something hard to do.
Yeah.
And we figured out a way to do it before in training, so now let's figure out a way to do it in the real world, because now it counts. Now people's lives matter, and people's lives count on you getting that piece of equipment up that 11,000-foot mountain and over to the next side.
So that's what we harken back to at this. This is how this event is based on Special Forces assessment and selection. And there's a little bit of the why in there as well as to how that leads to real world applications.